Hey, what is up, YouTube? So this is part 2 of the agricultural exemption video. So in this video, I decided to make part 2 of it because part 1, I didn't really go too in depth with it. I just kind of went over some basics of it. However, in this second part of this video, I'm going to go over maybe some of the things you heard in part 1 and a couple of the gray areas. I did some more research. My disclaimer is, even after this, you still need to do more research and get with your log department or safety department on the agriculture exemption if you're running under these rules. Okay, so these are in no particular order. I got a phone call, hold on. According to the rule, anyone that's hauling agricultural commodities for the furtherance or the production of agricultural production is exempt from running a logbook or hours of service. You can, according to the rule, you can literally list your time as off duty, not driving. What I would do is make a flag, a note of it, that you were hauling, that you were under agriculture exemption. Okay. So basically, like if you're in a 3/4 ton pickup and a 1 ton pickup, if you're in a dump truck or a farm truck or a commercial truck, this is for private and commercial carriers. You can claim the agriculture exemption rule. Now, a couple of things. Each state has a harvest season. Sorry. You have the Midwest, like Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Iowa. Each state has different times of the year that they have their harvest season. I'm not sure what it is for Ohio. Indiana, I believe, is 11 months out of the year. Iowa's different. I don't know exactly what the months are for Iowa. I believe Illinois and Missouri, don't quote me on this, are year-round states. They have agricultural harvest year-round. So and that's another thing. If it's harvest season and you're hauling agricultural commodities, you're farming or whatnot, you can most definitely claim it at that time of year. Now, what types of commodities? Well, they mentioned bees, livestocks, like pigs, cattle, chickens. Equipment. It has to, if you have what I would do for the equipment, especially if it's your own equipment for your farm, if you're hauling and you want to have that exempt, that that you're pulling this equipment, make out a bill of lading stating that it's going to a farm or to your farm. I would carry a bill of lading in the truck with you if you're gonna in order to claim this, the hauling of this construction equipment. I'm talking about construction equipment, not like a farm tractor. A green farm tractor is going to be obvious. It is for, for the furtherance, for the production of agricultural industry. A couple other notes I have here. Let's see here. A gray area, or state to state. So let's say, according to the rule, it's 150 air miles, or on your logbook it would be 172.5 miles. From wherever the source is, that's where you start. Now, if you're going to cross state lines and you're where you pick that load up, where it originated, it's harvest season or it's agricultural season, you're exempt. But the next state you're not. You have to start running your logbook once you cross state lines. So if you're going to be crossing state lines and you're going to be staying within 172.5 miles, once you cross the state line, you may want to look to make sure that they're in ag season too. If they're not in ag season, then you can't log it, or you can't be off duty. and, you know, making that exemption. So to give you an example, like let's give an example. Let's say I was in, where's it good? Let's say not Des Moines, too far. The Quad Cities in Illinois, out there by Moline, Muscatine. You know, it's right there on the state line of Iowa and Illinois. Well, Illinois, I believe, is year-round ag season. You can claim it, and you pick up the load just on the state line of Illinois, but it's going into, you're going into Iowa to a farm in Iowa, and Iowa is not their harvest season or the ag season, so you'll have to run a logbook once you cross into Iowa, and then once you're back into Illinois, you don't have to run a logbook anymore. So don't quote me on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's the way you can do it. Once you're back out of Illinois, you deliver the load, you're coming back to a farm, pick up another load. You don't have to, you know, you can go back to no hours of service. So anyway, that is basically it from part 1. Now I'm not too sure. I don't have much experience with the short haul exemption. The short haul exemption has nothing to do with ag, but I'll mention it in this video. If you're a local driver in a day cab or in a medium duty truck and you're staying within 100 air miles, you have to check with your state. You're staying within 100 air miles, and you cannot go past 12 hours. If you're not, as long as you're not working past 12 hours, let's say you're going 50 miles, you're driving 50 miles from wherever your location is, wherever your shop is at. You know, you're delivering loads or you're picking up stuff for the company, and then you're coming back, you're staying within 100 miles, and you're doing it in 12 hours or less, Monday through Friday, you generally don't have to run a logbook. This has nothing to do with that. You know, I'm not too versed or too educated on that, but from my understanding, that is the short haul exemption on being required to run a logbook. As I mentioned before, if you can do this, you can't do this more than 8 times in the 30-day cycle, or you can't run past the 150-mile mark, or 172.5 miles, more than 8 times. If you do it more than 8 times, then you have to run a logbook for the rest of the month. You can't claim agriculture exemption. You'll have to run regular hours of service, just like an over-the-road truck driver would. So the keywords were the furtherance production. Those are the keywords. So if it's going to further the production of agricultural commodities or for the agriculture industry, you know, if you pick up a load of like cow feed at an elevator or at a grain bin, and it's going to another farm, or even if it's going to a retail outlet, a retail place that's not even a farm, as long as it's within 150 miles of where you picked it up, it's harvest season, it's an ag commodity, you can claim it. You don't have to run the logbook, according to my research. Alright, I'm going to end the video there. If you guys have any questions or comments, just put it down below in the description. Also, if you like my content, you like what you heard, hit a thumbs up on the video. It'll help the video. Hit like, hit subscribe, so that when I put another video up, you get a notification. Hit that little bell up on the right. Click on it. Alright guys, JCZ from Resource Mulch. Talk to you later.